Hey, welcome back. This is Gary Brackett with Champ Real Estate Podcast, and I'm here with my good friend Karen Lyles. And today, what we're going to talk about is no one likes really to have this conversation, but I think as we get older, we're not getting any younger.
We're dying.
It's inevitable.
Yes, it is.
We're going to die.
We are.
And when we do, we should have some life insurance.
We should.
Right?
We should.
So when you purchase a home, even if you're a single person or if you're married, like, why is life insurance important? First question. And the second question is, like, why should they have it like separate and not like necessarily attached with their lender?
Okay. So I'm going to start with the second one first. When you're purchasing a home, some lenders will offer you what's called mortgage protection.
Mm-hmm.
All that really is just life insurance.
Right.
The difference is they hold the policy versus you holding the policy. So if something happens, what they're really doing is protecting their asset of, hey, I lent you this money and I want my money if something happens to you.
Give me my money.
Give me my money.
So if your house passed, it can only come to me. Yes. Right? Don't pass go, don't collect $200.
Right.
Right.
The other side of it is if you purchase the life insurance yourself, then you're purchasing it at your age and your health, right? So all of those factors are for you versus like them going on the masses where the price may be actually higher for mortgage protection insurance versus you getting it yourself. And then the best part is it's your life insurance. You can do what you want to with it. You can pay off the house, or you can use it as income replacement, or you can use it to do whatever you want to do, to grieve however you want to grieve if something happens to the person that you love that you're sharing this mortgage with. And in the case that you're a single person and you're covering that, perhaps you want to leave it to someone, right? Then you can do that. And then another thing that people don't think about really is they only attach life insurance to dying. But life insurance can actually be lived and tapped into for when you're living, right? Depending on the type of policy you have, you can actually take distributions from it, loans, different things like that for whatever you want to do with it. You can help supplement retirement with it. And then, God forbid, you are diagnosed with a critical illness, you can actually take a portion of that, exhaust the policy, and do what you want to. Right? I
remember it was a Queen Latifah movie where she thought she was dying and she like went to Paris. Living up.
You can do all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's not just for dying. It's actually for living too.
That's amazing. So how does life insurance work? Because it's not necessarily required that you have a life insurance policy, right? However, if you're one of my family members, it is required. I would be one holding the bag. I'm sure we've all been there before.
We have.
But like, why do you think more people don't have life insurance?
I think first it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. Nobody wants to talk about a lot of people don't want to talk about dying. Right? It is one of the most selfless purchases you will ever make. Because it's not for you. It's for your loved ones. Right? Do you want to pass away and your wife, kids, whomever, best friend, lover, partner, whoever it might be, have to be worried about making ends meet because you didn't have anything in place to take care of you being gone? Like, I would not want to leave my family that way, right? Where you don't have a choice but to go back to work soon. Like, I want to give my family the time they need to grieve me because I'm great.
No question. I'm replaceable.
And if something happens to me, the whole world is going to change, right? I'm joking, but I'm just saying, like, it is the most selfless purchase you'll ever make in your life.
Wow, that's big. So why then? Because I feel like, with age comes wisdom. And as we get older, we like, oh yeah, I'm 55. Now I should start thinking about life insurance if we're that blessed, right?
Yeah.
But there's some disadvantages of waiting.
It's not even little. It's like big.
It's a big disadvantage. Yeah. So why at an early age, at a youthful age, should you consider that? And I think it's like tithing. Like, so when you start like making this a way of life, right? You just can be consistent at it. So,
Absolutely.
So what age would you do you think someone would consider it, and why should they do it at a younger age?
Honestly, the best time to do it is honestly probably in the first 3 months of being born. So your parents actually purchase the policy for you, and
right.
all of us come into this earth some kind of way by parents, right? And so if you're in that situation, like my kids have always had life insurance policies, but I've been in the industry, so that's a little bit different, and so my knowledge is a little bit different. But you pay such a small amount, and one thing about life insurance is guaranteeing insurability, right? And that is it's actually harder to sell life insurance for children than it is adults, because nobody wants to think about their kid ever passing away, right? But what you're doing is guaranteeing that they'll have life insurance for the rest of their lives at this very small amount.
Because they keep that same
premium their whole life, right?
That's crazy.
And then you get, there's 2 different kinds of insurance for all intents and purposes. Okay. I mean, there's 50 million different names for them, but it all comes down to permanent and term. So I always provide permanent insurance on kids, just because you'll never get it any cheaper, right? And then it builds cash value. You can use some of that money in reserves to supplement for college or trade school, or to give them a good start out in life, no matter what their choices are. It could be used to supplement retirement. It could be used somewhat. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it as a rainy day fund. It does have some liquidity in it, but it's not, it is meant to be a long-term vehicle, right? But it's never cheaper than when you're young. And the thing is, a lot of us look at our life insurance policies through work as our own, but we don't own them.
Wow.
They're not ours. They're our employers, right? And it almost presents this false sense of reality, because I know when I was in corporate, my life insurance policy may have been $7 every pay period or $7 every month, right? And I'm, 30, 35 years old. And then you get out into the real world, and then you go to get your own life insurance policy at 35, and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Why does it cost that much, right? But that's the reality of it. In good health, so we look at height, weight, your medical history, different things like that. And if you have a clean bill of health, you can get a permanent policy probably for anywhere between 35. I won't quote price, because it depends on like how much you get and all of that. But really the biggest point to make here is that it's good to get it when you're young, not when you retire and leave the job.
Not when I'm like 55,
and
60.
Take the insurance
after 30 years.
Yeah, they won't let you take it with you. And if you do take it with you, it's just like purchasing a life insurance policy at age 65, because that's how much it's going to cost you. And it's going to have, quadruple, triple, 20 times the price of what you're used to paying. So it's best to just get your own policy, say no thank you, honestly. You can get it. It's $3 to $5, right? It's extra money that your family can have if something were to happen to you. But the point is, the reason the premiums are so low is because during your working years are some of your healthiest years, right? No, and you're young. And so the life expectancy rate is you have so far to go. So that's how life insurance is structured, upon life expectancy rate. And so when you get older, that's why it costs more.
Wow, that's game. Because you know what? A lot of times the corporation would throw in there, I'm giving you life insurance. But you 21, so you're like, I'm going to give it to you. Like, ain't costing us too much.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
You try 40 trying to get your life insurance. It's different ballgame.
Yeah, different. And honestly, we formulate like different diseases and things as we get older. I know we were talking, and I hear about somebody who's been diagnosed with cancer like once a month, and I'm in my 40s, and it's, I can't believe it. And then, I know 30-year-olds who have been diagnosed with cancer. And the thing is, once you get those terminal illnesses tagged to your name, you're no longer insurable at all for life insurance. It's at least from where I stand. So it can get kind of ugly there. And then what you thought was important, you can no longer even attain.
Yeah. Wow.
No,
that's important. Yeah, and that's a great point to bring up. Like, if you wait too late, and especially if you have a history, or with your family and things like that of some of these chronic illnesses, it definitely will behoove you. That's a big word, behoove. That's my dictionary. That's my scramble word for the day. But it definitely will behoove you to get it at a young age, get it locked in, get permanent coverage. Not only having your name, you could cover your house, right? So your family has a place to live. But also you talked about the other benefits. That was great. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So if someone's looking for life insurance, where can they find it? Where can they go?
Well, you can just call me up.
Okay.
317-288-0140 or Google me, Karen Lyles, Farmers Insurance. There's a way to send me an email, messages, all kinds of stuff on there. So.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you very much. I will be looking at my policies here when we get off. And so should you. Definitely check in on your life insurance policies, not only for your home, which makes a great investment, but also, like she talked about, as an investment vehicle for other type of protection. So you should have life insurance, point blank, period. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If I were you, I'm going to tag all my family members on this post, right? Because we're going to make sure everyone is going, finishing out the year with life insurance. You should do the same for your family. I appreciate you watching this episode of the Champ Real Estate Podcast, and I look forward to seeing you on the next show.